Alright, we should be live. Test 1, 2, mic check. Mic seems to be on the quieter side today. Let me see. Hello, 1, 2, how's the mic sound? How's the volume? Let's see. Let me refresh my windows real quick. But first in the house, today we got Techie Tech. What up? Then we got Ben Zarino. Hello, welcome to the stream, y'all. Chemical Aid, sup. HDZ in the house. Is gonna be the most budget-friendly PC console of price around $400 to $500. PlayStation is doomed. For the Steam Machine, they didn't give any prices yet, right? I only saw a couple of headlines and then watched one video about it. I didn't even finish it yet though, but I figured we talked about it on stream. Under 500, I don't know. That seems a little too cheap to me for what this thing would be able to do. I think for a small form factor turnkey solution like this, I think 500 would be a great price, but I don't know if they're gonna be able to get it that low. Unless the price has already been determined, but I did not see anything about that. Hello, Craig Lilly. Hello. Giving up console limited titles is killing off themselves. You mean consoles allowing their exclusives to go on PC? Is that what you're saying? Giving up console limited titles. Giving it up. Like, yeah. Though, a lot of times the console exclusive titles don't come out for like another 6 months to a year, right? Like, we saw that recently with the Final Fantasy games. I think like the Ghosts of Yotai, that's not available yet. Death Stranding 2. So, I think if all console exclusive titles were, or titles that are initially exclusive to console, if all of those shifted to being available on PC day one, that would be really the final nail in the coffin. But right now, I think they're still hanging on for dear life with you know, there's somewhat limited exclusive window of time where you can only play it on console. Similar, GTA 6 is gonna be the same way too, right? So what up, Kale? What up, Greyman Media? Hello. Let's see. What up, Stang? Hello, Dev Trend. What up, Nira? Let's see. Where am I at? Tech Blacksmith in the house. We live, Coalition Gaming. Chris, I'm at work. Take me away from this place. The new VR headset seems like it should be cheaper than what the Index came out for back in the day too. The new VR headset, and we'll look at it, a video and stuff later on in the video, but it looks really interesting. I watched the Dave 2D video on it, and the way that he was demonstrating and showing it, it looks really cool. I'm not sold on myself buying a VR headset just yet. I've used one. I bought one years ago to play Beat Saber, like a cheaper Lenovo one, and then I borrowed my in-laws in preparation to buy it. His what is it called? The second gen one, but I ended up not buying it because I found myself not using it enough. I'm glad. What up, New Giant Robots? I'm glad they're revisiting the Steam Machine idea. Very exciting times. When was? We'll look at that later. We gotta just chill for chat for a bit. Let me see. Let me bring that up. Hello, Arnold Albert. What up? In decline. Sup. Halo Infinite. How much is it gonna be? I don't know. We can speculate today and make our predictions in the Discord server as we have been doing. Caught a mouse in my humane live trap. Time to release the mouse. Aw, what a guy, Craig Lilly. HDZ says, I like the new I like that the new Steam controller works with games that don't support controller on Steam since I can't do mouse and keyboard. The new controller, I think, to me, I don't know, the Steam controllers have been kind of wonky looking. I don't think I've held one before, an original Steam controller, but I haven't ever used one for an extended period of time to like really make an assessment whether or not the shape and the design works for me. But I mean, for the longest time, I've been very much like just the basic Xbox controller layout and form factor. I don't know, like this, I'm perfectly happy with. I know that almost so many controllers I see now are like Hall Effect and stuff like that. So if anything, like one of these with Hall Effect sticks, then I would be good. But I don't know. It's just, you know, how many years now? Over 20 years of using Xbox controllers. I used PlayStation controllers first, but looking back, my goodness, some of the first gen PlayStation controllers were like, I don't think they were ergonomic or good at all. Xbox definitely hit it out of the park with their first design. Not their first design, their first controller S design. The original Xbox controller was a big bulky mess, but when they can release controller S, which is what their newer controllers are based off of, I've been sold ever since. I wonder if the new Steam VR headset would be more reliable than the Index. I had an Index and refunded it after the right controller failed after 3 days. Sergeant Reaper says, that sounds like potentially bad luck. That might have been a one-off issue, or is that something that you looked into and a lot of people experienced the same thing? 3 days? That seems like that was like a faulty unit. Just unfortunate luck. I see they don't have a release date as of yet or the price range. Let's see. Yeah, we'll look into the articles once we get going here. What is the best price performance GPU right now for 4K gaming? Price to performance for 4K gaming. Probably the 9070 XT. Those are going for like 600 on sale right now. But it depends, right? I said that, but I don't know what people's definition of true 4K gaming is, right? Like, are people okay with 60 FPS 4K? Are people expecting high refresh rate? Are they expecting no FSR or DLSS? Like, what is your definition of 4K gaming? And also, which games? We talking about any game, or like the majority of games, or like esports games? Because there are games where I feel like no, I think the 5090 could pretty much handle everything above 60 FPS, even like with ray tracing or path tracing on. But yeah, I would say it's either, if you're okay with AMD, the best you can really get there is the 7900 XTX, which I wouldn't really recommend. Kind of hard to find those at decent prices, and they're going to be used, versus just buying a brand new 9070 XT, which have come down in price. They've been on sale quite a bit. But it's either that or the best NVIDIA card you can get, which is crazy because you go from like a $600-ish top-end AMD card, and then the next, if you go in NVIDIA, yeah, you have the 5070 Ti, which could be considered a 4K card. But then after that is like the $1,000 5080, and then after that is like the 2500. I think those have been coming down to like 2300 5090, which yeah, so it's such a big price difference. But if you want it like best, not only just price to performance, but also like reasonably priced one, you're probably looking at 5070 Ti or 9070 XT. What up, Ant-Man? Says, sub Dan, I'm on the fence between getting a 9060 16GB or a Steam Deck. I have a 4060 8GB. Your thoughts? If I had a 4060 8GB, I would not get a 16GB 9060 XT. To me, that's too much of a side grade. I would just wait. Getting a Steam Deck versus a graphics card is such a... I wouldn't even consider them the same. Getting a Steam Deck is you still keep your PC that you already have with the 4060 in it, and you get a whole nother handheld gaming device. So now you have two separate gaming devices. Whereas getting a 9060 XT, it's just, I would say, a pretty minor upgrade. I don't think the 16GB 9060 XT. Okay, maybe it's a little bit more than a minor, but it's not substantial enough of an upgrade that I would personally do. I would shoot for at least the 9070 non-XT, or just hold your money for a bit longer. And oh man, the Supers news. Let me update the title. We should talk about that, because I think we did not talk about that last week. I don't think the news or leaks broke out yet. Super cards cancellation and more. Yeah, I think we should talk about that. It is kind of a rumor mill thing, but I think it's still worth discussing. Okay, let me see. Steam controllers were an awesome buy. Weren't Steam controllers and the original Steam machines, once they were basically obsolete, weren't they being sold for dirt cheap, and people were using them as media, playing devices on their almost like a HTPC, almost a streaming device for their living rooms. I forget how low they got, but I remember a time when Steam machines were going for dirt cheap as well. I don't even know what their original MSRP was. We'll look that up, but got banned on Battlefield 6. Apparently saying curse words in all chat gets you banned now. So if you play Battlefield 6, use all chat. When you say chat, you're talking about all voice chat, or are you talking about typing? Or are you typing in chat? In all chat. I'm guessing typing. But 7-day suspension just for cursing? That sounds extreme. Also, I would need to see the exact context of what you wrote, but I feel like people cuss all the time in online games like that. And don't they have... I feel like games that I've been playing as of recent, online ones, they automatically have the cursing filter on, or bad words filter on. So I feel like that would be a way easier solution to letting people express themselves, so long as it's not harassing others, right? But a curse word here or there never hurt anybody, especially if you put it behind a filter that's defaulted on, and people would have to choose themselves to turn it off. But dang, 7-day suspension, that's a lot if that's the main game you play and that you plan to log on every day. I'm sorry to hear that, Techie Tech. My brother, who I sold the 6800 XT on eBay for, was pushing me to find him a new GPU to buy with that money. Told him to be paid. Wait, I forget. What's he using now? Did you tell me you threw a 3070 in it? But yeah, how horrible is whatever graphics card he is using in terms of him playing? How bad are the graphics and resolution and FPS and stuff? I feel like if you have something to hold you over, especially with Black Friday coming up, we've been seeing deals on graphics cards even up to now with all the news of the RAM shortage and stuff, and memory shortage. So I have a kind of good feeling that on Black Friday, the mid-range cards and below, mid-range being 5070 Ti and worse, I feel like they're gonna be decently priced, under MSRP. And that's only what, how many, is that 2 weeks away, Black Friday? Yeah, we're 2 weeks away from it, but I think Newegg is having something right now. Let's see, browser, Newegg. I thought they're having like a Black November nonstop deals. Yeah. So, oh my goodness, we got treasure chests and stuff. But, I've been seeing deals posted on here from them. Not RAM though. RAM is horribly priced. Even though we found a decent set on Amazon last week. 32 gigs for like 140. So, well, this is Corsair RGB one. So, but yeah, like, there's deals the whole month, and we've seen quite a few pop up on Build a PC sales. Like, look at this. You can get a 9070 XT for $600 now. And I like the Aorus Rock Challenger one, aesthetically, and to my knowledge, performance, there's like no apparent issues with it. So I think on actual Black Friday week, maybe it'll be another $10, $20, $30 slashed off of it. But yeah, so I would say, and maybe, yeah, be patient is the good advice. I'm installing a 5070 Super. What? 5070 Super? Do you mean 4070 Super? For an acquaintance, should be fun. So 9070 XT performance identical. Even, yeah, I mean, I feel like the performance gap is just gonna keep getting closer and closer. The one thing I have been seeing people mention why even after that fact they still want the 7900 XTX though is because they want the 24 gigabytes of VRAM, which, I mean, if people are convinced that they want more VRAM and 16 gigabytes isn't enough, then it's gonna be hard to change their mind. But me personally, if someone was like, pick one of the two that you can have, you know, for free, I would be like, give me the 9070 XT and move on. Chris says, I sold the CPU once, tested working, buyer claimed it didn't work, and eBay forced me to refund him. Don't want to spend the money and then put a bad position if buyer tries to be whacked. Yeah, that's why I don't sell on eBay. I sell locally or to people I know, or hardware swap, or Jawa, because those are communities of people who are, there's a higher likelihood of them, you know, being like normal people. Like, I feel like a lot of people who buy on Jawa, they're just looking to upgrade their own system, or they're looking to like upgrade or like buy it to use in a PC that they're gonna flip or sell. So they're not just looking at it as a platform to scam others and just make money off of. Like, people buying from there have an intention of using the hardware itself. If I go 4K, I'm going 5090. That's why I'm still 1440p. Yeah, I can see that. Yes, they did come up with a price for the 7500 X3D. We'll probably do that first. Test 1, 2. Okay, we're still good. I'm just making sure the mic doesn't cut out as it has been in previous weeks. Okay, we're about 20 minutes into the stream. Hello everybody. Hello. If I missed you. Let's get into, oh my god, Tech Always. We got Tech Always Charles in the house. It's Charles from Tech Always. What up, Charles? How you doing? Hope you're doing well. Okay, first things first, which I think is kind of quick news, so we can just talk about it and then be done with it. Ryzen 50, I think video cards was one that had the price. Yes, it was video cards. Ryzen 7500 X3D is now, okay, I shouldn't have said canceled. That was the clickbait one. It sounds like the super cards were actually like very, very delayed. But I think I saw one clickbait title said it canceled, question mark. Sorry, I clickbaited the stream title. But 7500 XT is now official. 270. And I think it's actually in, not like an AliExpress special, but Micro Center 7500 X3D. Let me see if I can find it. Debuts Micro Center. It debuts in 2 power. This from their own website. So they have it in these 2. So you can find it in a $900 and a $1,000 pre-built 7500 X3D right there. Okay, what is this paired with? A 96? Come on, why are they not? Okay, 16 gigabyte, so they did specify it there. And what does this one have? This one has a 5060, so for 100 X, let's see, 1 terabyte, 32, 16 gigs of RAM. Okay, this seems like, especially with RAM pricing nowadays, this is the better buy for sure. Better graphics card and double the RAM, which is worth about like, based on pricing that we've seen right now, like 70-ish, 75 bucks, about 75 bucks for 16 gigs. So yeah, I would say this is the better deal. I'm not seeing it. Let me see if I can find it. No, 75. I'm curious where. So they're not selling it standalone, but video card says it's $269. It's $269. Nice, but $270. I don't like this price at all. I think for a Ryzen 5 chip, approaching $300, especially after tax, it's gonna be like $300. I don't know. I would just get the non-XDD chip for like, what are those going for? Like 180 on sale, 190, or get Ryzen, like more cores and threads. Yeah, I mean, I think on the lower end of the 200, this would have been a better buy, like 225 max. Even at 250, I would be questioning it. The pre-built's looking good with the RAM yeah. Now, if the system integrators have been hoarding RAM, and for DDR5, it was probably a safe bet to hoard memory because we're going to be on DDR5 for a long time to come, and memory not too long ago was kind of at the best prices that it was, and memory was pretty stable for the longest time. So I think investing in buying a lot of memory would have been a good play by the system integrators. So if they're sitting on those, they could use that as kind of like leverage to move more of their systems now, assuming they keep their prices the same and they haven't shifted it due to the new memory shortage. But yeah, you can get a 7700 for 200 used, I think. Yeah, but we can't compare. Of course, yeah, used 7700 would be, in my opinion, way better buy than the 7500 X3D. But we have to compare it. If we're going to compare this new, we have to compare it with like a new, and a 7700. Let's see. And on Black Friday, it's probably going to be even less. A 7700 right now is $261, $244 in the second-hand Amazon market. 9600X for $185. I would buy this over an X3D chip any day of the week. 7600X, $175. How much is 7700X? Oh, is that what I was looking at? So it's the better deal of the two. And then what's the 9700 going for? 9700X is still $300. Okay, so yeah. Not really excited about this. Plus, if it's gonna be a Micro Center exclusive, let's see if they talk about it at all. Techie Tech super chatted $5. Thanks for the super chat, Techie Tech. Did you hear about the tech tuber had dragons? He passed away. Ah, you got me. Oh my god. Now this is why I need to read the whole thing. He passed away from dragging these nuts. Anyway, Techie Tech, you got me. Need good headset recommendations for 175 or under. Unfortunately, I've said this before in the past. I am not the guy to go to for like keyboard, mouse, headphone recommendations. But if there's anybody in the chat who has a headset for 175 or under that you particularly like to kind of give Techie Tech some leads on where to start looking, feel free to drop the chat. I will say though, one of my favorite headphone and peripheral reviewer is Bad Seed Tech. He makes really high quality videos, and he does a lot of mouse, keyboard, and headset stuff. So I like, in terms of, you know, reviewers with good ethics and reviewers I trust, I would say Bad Seed Tech I definitely trust a lot. So if you haven't seen, I actually have my mouse pad is actually a Bad Seed Tech mouse pad. He's also ripped. Yeah, the dude's gigantic. We saw him at LTX. He's like 6 foot something, but yeah, you can see his logo right there. So yeah, definitely like his stuff. In terms of, if I had to point people to a channel for recommendations, I would, his would be one of the top ones when it comes to headphones. Also, actually, another one that I like is this Asian dude. Where is he at? He's a pretty funny guy. He had his channel deleted, but then he remade it. But he gets very technical with it. Where is that channel? I think he's from like Singapore or something. Critical. Yes, I think it's Critical. Yes. Another channel that I would trust. And if I watch his stuff, a lot of stuff would probably go over my head because I'm dumb when it comes to this kind of stuff. So I would need to like watch his videos and then watch videos explaining like the terminology and methodologies that he uses. But yes, Critical. Oh wow, did he ever get his channel back, or did the one that he remade grow this fast that quickly? Because he's already back like up into like 350,000+ subs. So yeah, this dude, really good stuff. Yeah, which reminds me, now that you love his sense of humor, if you like keyboard stuff, I really like Squashy Boy. Squashy Boy, like in terms of keyboards, like kind of like Glars's, Squashy, his videos are hilarious. It's not just his accent, it's like his editing and his style of making videos. Yeah, Hippio Tech is good too. Lots of good creators in these peripheral spaces that I personally like enjoy watching. But yeah, Squashy Boy is probably, in terms of like a good mix of like information and a lot of humor. So we got off track. What are you guys doing? We got a lot to talk about today. But okay, 7500 X3D. Overall thoughts. Yeah, I mean, did I make a prediction in the Discord server on this one? Let me see, tech predictions. I don't think I did. Okay, I only made a B770. We gotta make more predictions in here. But, not, like, to me, especially with this being limited, if it is only limited to Micro Center, we'll have to see if it ever hits AliExpress. But if it's just a Micro Center exclusive, I already don't care about it because, it's not, I don't recommend things from Micro Center to my viewers because Micro Center is located in 13 states and then just nowhere else in the world. So it is such a limited item and the price is not the best. So, and if it goes the route of the 7600 X3Ds, and these are just made out of kind of like the imperfections, then, and like low binned chips, then it's not going to be something that will be around for long enough and have good enough stock to really talk about. So yeah, that's 7500 X3D news. To me, whatever. But it finally got the official price, so there's that. Okay, next thing. Okay, so NVIDIA hasn't canceled the RTX. We'll get to the Steam, because I think the Steam machine is going to take the most time. So I want to save that for a little bit later when more people are going to be in the chat. And we have 3 different products from Valve to talk about that they announced today. But, okay, RTX 5000 Super refreshes published 2 days ago. As previously rumored, but don't expect these GPUs anytime soon. So, unfortunately for anybody who has been waiting around for these super cards, yeah, I would say just don't wait for them anymore. With the memory situation as is, I mean, I guess if it does come out late 2026, over a year from now, maybe everything will be fixed by then. But to me, if you need a graphics card right now, or if you're building a new PC right now, I would say buy the best thing you can right now. Waiting for however long this would take. The latest gossip, so this isn't even true, but I personally don't see it releasing in Q1 or Q2 2026. I would say, even if you bought something right now and then all of a sudden at CES or Computex, NVIDIA is like, boom, we're dropping the Super Series. You would have enjoyed your graphics cards for long enough, and at the prices they are right now, they're decent enough that you shouldn't like feel FOMO for this. Also, Charles, what is your current specs right now? I haven't talked to you in a while, Charles, so hope you're doing well. But I'm curious, what are you using and what are you playing these days? Also, I missed a membership gift earlier. Dude Prinny, are you still in the chat? Dude Prinny. Oh no, I don't see you when I at you. So you might have left, but Dude Prinny, thank you for the one gifted membership. Let me see if I can replay that bad boy. Where's the window? No, where is it? I want to replay the super chat. Or the gifted. Where's view? Dang it, I can't replay it. I need to figure out where that window went. But it was given to Xenomorph Cryptid. So thank you, Dude Prinny. I'm sorry, I totally forgot to get to that as I was going through the intros, but thank you. Charles' current specs, 6'0" and totally ripped, right? Charles has got a 5800 X3D solid and a 3060 Ti. Yeah, 6 foot 185. Charles, I'm gonna need a shirtless picture right now. Please. You've been climbing. I know you got that climber aesthetic. That's a pretty good aesthetic. Mostly play CS2, but want to play some more single player games and can't do high refresh rate. 1440p AAA. Got it. Okay, let's see. Video cards flags Taiwanese side. Bench Life claims that the rumored 50 all the supers aren't canceled, but delayed beyond the earlier Q1 2026 launch. Okay, is there any other news on this? NVIDIA super delay. Just did a half Ironman 2 weeks ago. Climbing is taking a back foot to triathlons. This dude is just living that that healthy lifestyle right now. Not just healthy, but like athletic. You're motivating me to actually start working out and getting in shape again. You guys notice why I'm always wearing long sleeves and stuff? It's because I've let myself go. Okay, any other news? MSN? I don't care about MSN. OC, Tweaktown, and Overclock 3D. See, so NVIDIA may cancel the 50 Super Series. Could cancel, which is expected to be announced at CES 2026, which was expected. Yeah, so in terms of, it's just chatter in the tech news sphere right now. But this is just to say, I think at one point in time, I did say, hey, when it was still potentially slated for super cards to release at the end of this year, and so this was months ago, I said, if you could hold out for a bit, if you have a perfectly functioning system, maybe wait for a super card. But at this point, I'm just like, yeah, no, don't wait for it. With everything going on, if you need something, get it now. Danny, I was not the OG sleeper build. Oh, you're talking about like physique and not... I thought you meant like a sleeper PC build. I think, yeah, I was... When I started the channel and for a few years afterwards, I was definitely a lot more in shape and going to the gym on a regular basis. But I don't know, I've gotten lazy. It's really easy to get lazy as you get older and become more, you know, busy with other things in your life. But I need to at least get on maintenance mode. I gotta at least, you know, keep up with the 3 core lifts and maybe some calisthenics stuff multiple times a week. And yes, the T starts going down. Maybe I should get some of Coach Greg's Torque Builder Max. I was thinking, how fun would it be, and if that would keep me, what's it called? Would keep me like on a consistent basis. If like every single Friday I just did a workout stream, where I just stream, I talk to the chat in between sets, and then just do a work, you know, like a full workout. And even though it's not even PC related, I feel like it would just be a chill chat session, and it'll be something where I can look forward to doing and doing on a regular basis. But I'm like, I gotta set all that up in the garage and all that, so we'll see. Just keep, yeah, that'd be pretty cool. It says like maybe like 2 people, but we'll see. If you guys keep pestering me about it, maybe I'll actually one day do it. Incorporate your twins on your workout. I want to, right? I want to look for like these like body harnesses where I could grab them, like some dumbbells, and, you know, do lifts with them. They're at the age where their necks are strong enough where we can hold them without supporting their neck, so it's like perfect timing because they're getting heavy fast. My goodness. Like, I remember when they were first born, holding them in one hand was like so easy, and now they're not super heavy. It's just they're awkwardly shaped. So we have an appointment for them coming up soon to get their actual weight, but they're probably like 16-ish pounds right now. And it's not like 16 pounds isn't heavy, like in a dumbbell, it's not heavy at all. But like in a floppy baby body, it's kind of a little bit more awkward to hold. So yeah, but getting something with like a grip on the back, like a backpack for them where you can just curl them, that would be fun. Yes, exactly. Automatic progressive overload. Exactly. Except I need to get started now because they are starting to get heavy enough where if I wait too long, they're going to be like 20-25 pounds soon, and then I'm screwed. Yeah, that's the thing. If I did a workout stream and it was calisthenics, like, then everybody could do it at the same time. We could all do it together as a tech community and fight off the stereotype that gamers are just, you know, basement dwelling neckbeard slobs who aren't fit. Even though there's plenty of tech tubers who have gone against that stereotype, like Scattervolt, Optimum, Ozzy's pretty jacked, Zach's Tech Turf is pretty ripped. Like, a lot of tech tubers are pretty in shape. You guys, we went off topic again. We went from talking to 50 supers to aesthetic bodies, but okay. Yeah, not much big news about the 50 series super stuff. Let's talk about these. Did I even bring up an article on it? We don't want to look at IGN. Everybody reported on this today. We could always use steroids on a budget. No way. Natty for life, man. No fake natties here. Let's see. What do we want to... The IGN one is where I pulled my image from. Let's see what IGN has to say about this. Alright. So, I guess we'll do a poll. Are you interested in buying the new Steam machine? Assuming pricing is reasonable. Pricing and performance. Like, my question is, do you care about that form factor at all? I am not really in the market for something like this as of right now. I don't do any living room gaming, like couch gaming in the living room. Most of my PC gaming is on a laptop. When I am watching the girls and hanging out with the family upstairs in the kitchen, like I'm on a laptop, or I am on this PC right now in my basement setup. Something like this, I guess you could hook up a keyboard to it, but I feel like most people would just use the controller with it. And even if I am primarily gaming, something about mouse and keyboard, like just having that available in a split second is like what I'm used to. Like even if I'm gaming right here with the controller, or if I'm gaming upstairs on the laptop playing a single player or action adventure game on the controller, being able to just quickly alt tab and check something on a browser or swap between Discord, stuff like that is what to me makes the PC gaming experience what it is. Not being able to do that, it starts to feel way more like a console, and I don't know, it just feels like a more limited experience for me. So for something like this, we don't know what the price is gonna be. My price prediction. If this thing is gonna be, let's read through the specs. So we do know Steam Machine comes as a 512 gig. So 2 models for the storage, which should be upgradable. I would assume that should be one of the more upgradable things, and ship bundled with the Steam controller, as well as selling it standalone at some point in 2026. Specs wise, so Zen 4 6-core 12 thread CPU, semi-custom RDNA 3 GPU, supports 4K at 60 with FSR. Valve described the new Steam Machine as 6 times more powerful than Steam Deck. So 8 gigabytes of GDDR6 VRAM. Wait, then Steam Deck with 16 gigabytes of DDR5. Okay. Full specs for the Steam Machine and Steam controllers are below. Let's look at the full specs. Something like this, I guess maybe the most base one. If the controller's worth like anywhere from 50 to 70 bucks, I don't know, pricing wise, 2 terabyte one for sure I don't see below $600, but do I see the 512 gigabyte potentially hitting at the $500 price point? Even that for me just for some reason sounds too cheap. In terms of pricing it against console, I don't know if I see like that as their main target demographic to like steal console users away. Even though it is in the form factor and where it's going to be placed, like primarily in your living room, I think the Steam ecosystem in itself, like people who are familiar with buying and playing games on Steam and Steam Family Share and all those the good things about Steam, like the Steam OS, I think is gonna be far much of a draw to them than people who have been on console their entire lives. Like I don't know if console people will realize the benefits of swapping over to a Steam OS based thing like this. Steam Machine has a nice ring to it. It's a pass for me though. A little cliche in my opinion, and Steam OS is for NPCs. Why does it look like half an Xbox Series X? Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Though I think this is a little bit fatter than it. I think just letting some people build up a Steam library would be huge for getting them into PC gaming for the future. Yeah, that's also the biggest thing about swapping over too, right? And I don't know what backwards compatibility is gonna look like for console for the next generation, but people who do have amassed collections of games on their the current consoles as well as past gens, assuming they didn't buy it digitally and they had physical copies. I think a lot of them, and even from the people I interviewed at PAX, that was one of the reasons they didn't switch over. So it wasn't not everyone. It's thinks it's a price thing, And not everyone thinks it's like, oh, it's difficult because I have to build it and source parse things. I think game library differences is another. And then, I don't know right now, but for all you console people out there, you console people, no, for the digital PlayStation games and Xbox games, like the digital PS4 games, can you play digital PS4 games on the PS5? That, you know, the ones that you bought, non-physical copy. And same for Xbox. For previous Xbox digital versions that you bought of the games, is it compatible with the latest ones? Because I feel like that's one of the super strong points of Steam. And I talk about this all the time. People who bought games on Steam literally like coming up on 20 years ago, they can play those same games on their new up-to-date computer. Whereas you can't say the same about games that you bought on PS2 and stuff like that back in the day. You would have had to like rebuy the remastered edition, so. Nah, there's nothing for Microsoft to. Actually, let's take a look. Whoops. Sorry, wrong one. It looks different enough. Let me get a big picture. Yeah, they look different enough. Okay, let's see. They should have specified which Steam Deck. Because didn't the latest refresh of the Steam Deck have a slight bump up in specs? HDD says, I think 512 model would be between 400 or 500 and 2 terabyte between 550 and 650. I think between 400 and 500, my goodness. For people who are trying to build budget gaming PCs, like what would be the point? I mean, I guess for let's see, under $500, you could. What kind of a build could you put together, like reasonably? I'm not talking about like getting crazy good deals, once in a lifetime deals, but reasonably for $500. We're looking at like a RTX 3060 system, right? Or I think it'll be easier to get an RX 6600 system. So 6 times more powerful than a Steam Deck. And I don't know the performance numbers off the top of my head. What desktop graphics card are we looking at here? Do they give any like comparisons? Flip09 says, wait, Flip, you're not N2 Tech, right? Because I was talking about N2 Tech, or N2 Tech sent me a thing about a Minis forum, which I need to bring up still after we look at this. But yeah, Minis forums has a bunch of pretty powerful small form factor stuff, though they are on the pricier side. Yeah, N2 Tech actually sent me a pretty crazy refurbished deal on a Minis forum recently with a mobile RTX 4070 in it for like $500. It was a bare bones system, so it's not gonna come in under 500 after you populate it with storage and RAM. But it was still a pretty crazy deal. Steam told Gamers Nexus, I have not watched the Gamers Nexus video yet, so. He said Steam told Gamers Nexus that it will be priced like an entry-level desktop. I don't even know what an entry-level desktop. What is an entry-level desktop? Are we talking about entry-level gaming desktop or an entry-level like office PC? So I would need to know the context of that. It's essentially a small form factor computer, not a console. Bigger because it's has internal power supply as opposed to like a brick. Okay, but yeah, that does unfortunately. That does not give me any more you know, of an idea of what the pricing would be like. A Gabe Cube? Oh crap! Wait. My alarm just went off, but I think this is an old alarm. Yes. Okay. I do not have a meeting right now. Okay. What up, Extreme Zone? You're at work. Thanks for sneaking in and saying hi. Hopefully you have a good shift. Oh, and no, NT Tech is here. Okay. Got it. So that wasn't NT Tech, but just someone else who's bringing up minis from. Got it. Okay. I assume Valve has a much bigger economy of scale advantage versus Minis Forum. I mean, Minis Forum, I feel like, if you're talking about in the US, maybe, but globally, I mean, globally everyone knows Valve, but I think Minis Forum has a much bigger reach globally, like, than specifically in the US, but yeah. It would be dope if Steam released the 3D print files for the case and the Steam machine. Or sold it. I think it's a very custom, like, I'm not sure if just slapping ITX motherboard in it would work. It definitely seemed like very proprietary special form factor. So if you wanted to print something a similar sized, you would definitely need to go like the mini PC route and like basically gut out something like a Minis Forum to fit in here. But they're saying internal power supply, huh? So yeah. There's no teardowns yet, right? Steam machine teardown. The new Steam machine teardown. Nope, that's a 2013 version. Yeah, so for the new one, probably not gonna see the internals for a while. The Steam machine sounds like Abyssal carpet cleaner. You're right, it does. I'm not even sure I would call Steam Machine a gaming PC. It's simple enough to get a taste of real gaming PC, but simple enough not to need manual software management for the normies. I mean, the first thing that some creators are probably going to do with this, and even some owners, are probably going to like get this thing and then dual boot Windows alongside SteamOS, right? Like, that's probably going to be the first thing that people do to essentially make it like a Windows machine. But what was the let's see, the IO on it is single display, no, 2, huh? So sorry. DisplayPort 1.4 HDMI 2.0, Gigabit Ethernet, USB-C, 4 USB-A ports, 2 USB 3 in the front. Is it 2 USB in the rear? So this 4 includes these ones that they mentioned. Wi-Fi 6E. I mean, it looks like you should be able to get 2 displays going with it, I'm assuming, unless there's some limitations to SteamOS I don't know about. I haven't messed with it yet. Exploit the Steam machine and run Windows 7 on it. I wonder if Valve will try to block it with custom firmware. Yeah. Is $600 good deal for 48 times 2 of laptop RAM? So 96 gigs. So that's 200 per 32, and it's laptop. That sounds like that's probably the going price-ish right now. Smash TV. I don't even remember what part of the world you're from, or if you're in the US or not, but But how much is that going for here? 600? Yeah, I mean, it's going for less here in the US. So, Oh wait, and is this a 2x? Is this a single kit? Single stick? Wait, what am I seeing? No, it's a 2x48 kit. What am I? Yeah. So no, 600 does not sound like a deal. If this is like a standard deal, you should be able to get it for a little bit cheaper on sale or Black Friday, and you're in the US, so yeah. Very gnomed. What up? 35 months of membership. The new headset seems even scarier than the Steam Machine. The industry should be scared. Both for the latest price point. Yes. So all right, that's the Steam Machine. I think it's pretty cool. Not personally, not for me, but I'm curious to follow it as you know, more information about it comes out, and I would definitely be interested to watch content on it. Let's see. But okay, I need to make a prediction. Give me 1 second, and if you guys want to, feel free to in here also. All right, so I'm gonna make yeah, yes, they did. They did. Technically, it is. I mean, it's supposed to be IO, or that's how we say it. But I don't know if the origins of it is it supposed to actually be ones and zeros, like binary wise. Well, I guess no. You're right. IO should be input output, not the ones and zeros for on and off. But you're right. Okay. Yeah, I've never seen that either. It is usually IO. So Steam Machine, even the 512 gigabyte model will be 512 gig. That one, no less. Alright, so I'm not seeing it in like the 450 or 400 range. Okay, let's go on to the Valve. It's called what? The Valve Frame. The new headset. We'll go to PC Gamer for this one. Where is the poll? I gotta end the poll. So for the people who did vote, are you interested in buying the Steam Machine? Assuming, you know, pricing and availability and stuff is all reasonable. A little bit more than half the people are interested in one. So, prediction: next gen Steam Machine will eventually get a newer Strix platform. Don't tell Valve where you got that from. Thanks. Feel free to leave the predictions in the Discord server if you want. We're taking predictions just for funsies. We need to do more predictions because the only other ones that we really had was the B770 pricing. But new poll. Are you interested in VR at all? Let's see. So yes, I have a VR headset. Yes, but I don't have a headset. No. So let's gauge the interest in VR in general. I'm like right on the fence between no and yes, but I don't have a headset currently. So they've announced a new VR headset called the Steam Frame. This thing is actually looking way sleeker than the Steam. What is how am I blanking on the oh no, this is a Steam one. So if we look at the go back. Let's see, every VR headset on PC. Yeah, we look at just the general design of VR headsets up to this point. They've all been kind of like these rounded boxes sitting on your face that's like kind of more like an opaque matte material. I don't know, this newer one is looking more like straight up, you know, fighter pilot goggles. I know there was a small. Where's the small that tiny one that company? I forgot what company it had that came out with a really small form factor, lightweight one. But this one, I would say, just aesthetically, is looking a lot more sleek. Gives me Ready Player One vibes, exactly. So they announced this. It's called Steam Frame. We're set to launch next year, so 2026. While pricing is not confirmed, I've been to Valve HQ to try it out. The details. There's a lot of cool tech, and I'll bring up the Dave 2D video about this one. There's a lot of cool tech in this one. It doesn't require a PC, which is pretty important in my opinion because it is a standalone device. I don't see the point of having a portable, something like VR that's like supposed to be somewhat portable if you're still, you know, chained down to either a laptop or a PC to have to run it. And I know the MetaQuest, like the MetaQuest stuff is able to run games, but only like specific ones does it run decently well on like standalone. You kind of have to hook up to a computer if you want to run more demanding games to get a good experience. But for this one, so we see a Steam Frame as a streaming first headset is what they're saying. Streaming in this context does not refer to cloud streaming or showcasing your skills on Twitch. Rather, streaming playing a game on a gaming PC and streaming it over the Steam Frame via a wireless connection. So you're streaming the game, so you're not like chained down by a PC, but it still requires quote unquote cloud gaming on your own local network. You know, you're gonna be streaming into one of your own PCs that you have without using cables. I tried VR, it's okay for 5 minutes. Yeah, I feel like for some people, VR is still kind of like gimmicky, where it's cool for a little bit, but it's not something that you're gonna do long term and put a lot of hours into like you would your gaming desktop. And I was kind of the same way. Like when I was borrowing my in-laws MetaQuest to potentially buy it, it was a MetaQuest 2. I was playing like Ace Combat and like you know, like VR first-person shooters and stuff like that. And it was cool, but once I was like played with it for a few hours for a few days, then I was like kind of over it. So I know people get addicted to VR chat. So if you're into games like that, where you can kind of just play every day and have a new experience, then sure. But for like the standard Steam library of AA and AAA games, I'm not there yet for VR. I'm kind of interested in sim racing, but I think it would make me sick. Had 3D TV and it made me sick. Yeah. I think with VR also, that is a problem, the motion sickness thing of it. Okay, let me pull up the Dave 2D video because it was really cool. I am probably gonna get... Dave, please don't copyright strike me. I'm trying to make this transformative. I'm gonna pause as often as possible. That cricket cup, the cricket match I showed on stream the other week, I got my video or my whole stream, the whole 3-hour stream, just for watching like a 20-second clip of cricket, got demonetized. But let's watch this. I'm not gonna watch the whole thing. Okay, so he goes over this first. I want to watch the. Okay, the tech in the headset is what I was pretty interested in. Okay.
The Steam Frame, and this was the most impressive hardware they showed me. So it is a VR headset that addresses two different segments. The first segment and the primary segment is that it can be used as a streaming headset. So you can have a system like a gaming desktop or a gaming laptop or that Steam Cube, or rather Steam machine that I just showed you, and as long as that system has a USB port, you can stream a game over into this Steam Frame VR headset. So that's the first kind of usage case. The second scenario is that you can use it as a standalone VR system. And standalone meaning that it's not connected to another computer, it is its own standalone device. So you could be on a plane or in a car or in a cave. Like you could just have this system and be experiencing a VR game or a VR experience just by itself without connection to a ancillary device. And this headset is very comfortable to wear. It's very lightweight. The whole product comes in at under a pound. It has 4 cameras up front, 2 more inside for eye tracking with a great screen, great optics, but it was remarkably comfortable to wear. The moment I put it on, I could just tell, like, okay, this is, in terms of just raw comfort for an off-the-shelf VR product, this was the best.
One thing that I am curious about is if they have pass-through. I didn't really see that mentioned. And for me, I think it's pretty important to have pass-through with those front cameras, if it still allows you to see and use it almost like in an augmented reality kind of way, which I would imagine it would have it, because the MetaQuest even 2, which is pretty old, not super old, but like, you know, by this point, I feel like it should just be a standard, especially if you have cameras like kind of all over the place on these headsets.
A lot of it has to do with the weight, but it's also like the positioning of the battery on the back.
Yes, it's only monochromatic, which it still allows you to see something. The Quest 3 was definitely a lot nicer. I got a chance to use the Quest 3 because that's why my brother-in-law was gonna sell me his Quest 2 because he upgraded to Quest 3, but he let me play with both of them. And yeah, the color is definitely nice. The resolution though is still kind of needs to be worked on. It still is a little bit grainy, but color does make a big difference.
It's got this like nice counterweight effect to it. Now, the first experience that I got to try with this headset was the streaming experience. And I went into this with like very low expectations because I've tried a lot of streamed VR experiences. And as nice as the wirelessness is, it typically sucks. Like, you are streaming a lot of visual data over Wi-Fi. If there's any kind of glitch or even like a reduction in visual quality, that hiccup, it just throws off the VR experience. It's about immersion, right? And the moment you break that immersion with like a little bit of a stutter or like something just doesn't align with the movement of your body or your head, everything falls apart rapidly. But Valve has done 2 interesting things in the space that change this experience completely. So the first is that this product comes with a dedicated wireless adapter for streaming the feed into the headset. So it plugs into your desktop or your laptop and has a Wi-Fi 6E network that is exclusively for the visual and audio feed of this headset. So any kind of other data, so let's say you're looking at a high score list or the game needs to pull some kind of internet data, it will not use this feed. That'll use like the regular Wi-Fi network that you have around you. It's only for that visual feed. It's dedicated, it's uninterrupted, it's unaffected by anything else. It's just for that visual experience. Now, the second thing, and the way more interesting thing that they've done, is that they've introduced something called foveated streaming. So we've heard of something called foveated rendering. If you're unfamiliar with it, it's when...
So this is the coolest part, I think. And I think this next part, you have to see it for yourself. He does a pretty good job kind of showing it, but I think there's going to be a lot of skepticism until you see it for yourself and experience this eye tracking thing that he's going to be talking about.
And it uses eye trackers in VR headsets to adjust the processing power in VR systems to sharpen only the area that your eyes are focused on. That process or that technique is used in a lot of proper VR systems. The PlayStation VR does it, Apple Vision Pro does it, MetaQuest Pro does it. There's a lot of like, it's just like a very efficient way to use that processing power to make sure that you're only rendering what you're actually focusing on, to make that thing that you're looking at as clear as possible. Okay, the same idea, but slightly different when it comes to foveated streaming. This is Valve's new thing. As you look around in your VR scene, because the eye trackers are tracking what you're looking at, it is adjusting or boosting the streaming bitrate in the spot that you're looking at, and it lowers the streaming bitrate in the rest of the scene. And since you're only looking at like 10% of the image at a time, it can allocate a lot of streaming bandwidth to just the thing that you're focused on and make that part of the image look really good. And you would think that you would be able to spot this. Like, I put this on, I was like trying to dart my eyes around really quickly, trying to kind of catch it, and I couldn't. It's so fast.
So why I'm skeptical is because obviously when Dave shows this video, we could see the blurriness outside of that box where it was focused on and like crisp and sharp. But when these things are right next to your eyeballs, I think it might be a different story. So that's why I want to experience it firsthand. Just hearing about this, I think it sounds like really cool, and it looks it looks like it has potential. It's just when you're looking at it on a flat screen like we are right now, it just looks pretty bad because our eyes, we're sitting far enough away from the monitor where when we look at this box, of course our peripherals catch a lot more, but when it's next to your eyeball, if this thing works as well as he's explaining it, and I've always found Dave 2D to be a very, like, he's pretty neutral. Like, he's like, you know, if something is, he sees there's a problem and stuff, he'll call it out. I've never thought Dave to be someone who could be like bought out by sponsors and stuff like that. I think he's been very fair in all of his reviews. If he says he couldn't even tell that, you know, the stuff around was like lower quality, or it didn't take away from the experience, then I would personally trust him. But I would also want to see it to be amazed of this in person myself.
Trying to kind of catch it, and I couldn't. It's so fast. They even had a custom build of Half-Life Alyx to demo this, where it would only stream into the area that your eyes were focused on. Everything else was darkened. And so this foveated streaming tech is so responsive and so good that even if you try to jump your eyes around to like look into a dark area, you can't. It's just such a responsive system. Now, the cool thing is that this technology does not involve the developer. Like with foveated rendering, the developer has to be involved because now they're like adjusting how the game is rendering the scene for the thing. But in this case, it's on top of that layer. So this just takes a regular game and it just, whatever it's streaming to the screen in front of your face. So you...
That's a really cool thing about it because it's kind of like, I don't know what layer it's on, whether it's the hardware layer or on the Steam, like, you know, software layer itself or the firmware, but it's independent of, you know, the game. It works with everything. So the thing about me is he said no matter how quickly he was looking around, it was able to track it. To me, that's kind of crazy because all of this data is being transferred over potentially that little dongle that he showed earlier. So the fact that the cameras are, you know, when your eyes are moving around, the camera has to pick that up. But after it picks it up, it has to transmit it. And then after that, it has to have a response to now shoot back whatever pixels that you're focusing on to make that clear. You would think with people who are used to playing on like these high refresh rate, 240, 360, 500, 40 hertz monitors, you would think. And Dave is someone who you know, I would say is familiar with like high refresh rate gaming and stuff because he always reviews laptops that do have those features and panels. For someone like him to say that it was like not a negative experience where it was able to track his eyes that fast, I think that sounds super cool. Though all this is to say that the tech in this is very cool, and I'll give it that. But for myself, I haven't played a VR game, and I haven't played a Half-Life Alyx, and that seems to be the one that people are super amazed at. But like, I wouldn't spend however much money this thing costs just for a single game to wow me. I think maybe if there were more of the like games that I liked playing previously, like open world games. I know like Skyrim has a VR version, but like a lot of games like that, to have official VR releases that aren't jank mods, I would be maybe more inclined to get myself a VR headset. But until then, you know, with the library being pretty limited, I think to this day, like, I don't want, when I look at VR headsets, I don't want to have to look at games for it separately than I do for my own PC, right? I don't want to only have it be able to play kind of like toned it down games that are made only for VR because of, you know, the graphics intensity and stuff. So for me personally, that's why I'm not super interested in getting my own VR headset yet, because at this point, I feel like the tech is still relatively kind of niche, and in terms of like accessibility and games being released for it, I haven't been wowed away by it. And I played a decent amount of Beat Saber too, and I feel like a lot of people buy VR headsets just for Beat Saber specifically, but I would like it to be more adaptable to the rest of my existing Steam library. Why can't they just use an Ethernet cable or fiber cable for transmission instead of wireless? I think I am one person who wants, if I'm going to do VR, I have a wired VR headset. That was that cheap one that I had. And, you know, if you're spinning around doing 360s and, like, you're being immersed in a game, I guess you could always, like, route the wire up to the ceiling with, they sell those kind of accessories where you can, like, put it onto, like, retractable cables to keep the headset cable always on top of you, but then that means you can only play in that room that you have that set it up in, kind of. So I think I value the, you know, the wirelessness of it, but maybe not everyone else does. Are you interested in VR at all? Okay, so I'm gonna end the poll now because I'm curious, like, if you were to do, I'm gonna ask the wireless thing, if you were to do a VR, if you were to game in VR, do you care about it being wireless? Okay. They need to make a VR less version of Half-Life Alyx. Is there no workaround to be able to play that in, like, flat mode? Like, the modding community has not come up with that? I feel like that would totally be a thing by this point. I feel like over a longer period of time, like, as you get more used to it, you might be able to start seeing it. But while it's fresh, maybe not. Okay. Having wires and trying to move is a disaster. Law. I tried. Yeah, when I was first messing around, when I got my very first headset, which I'm kind of sad. I bought it refurbished and it worked for a while, but then I think I left it in a not temperature controlled room for too long, and I don't know if it, like, heat cycled or what, like, some electronic component in it, like, I haven't opened it up, but I feel like something on the main board or a capacitor or something went out. But yeah, trying to play, like, I was playing these parkour and climbing games where, like, you were doing a lot of, like, 360s and rotating a lot, and I would eventually find myself, like, tangled in the cables when I did have it, when I was playing tethered. I don't care either way, but when I went from a tethered to Oculus Airlink, it felt like a step forward. Yeah, that's like me. That's what me personally I feel. Like, when I borrowed my brother-in-law's MetaQuest 2, I was like, oh my god. So this is what it feels like to not be attached to something. So I thought it was nice. Personally, I'd rather have it wired than to have the less than stellar experience. That's where the market is going, though, if they're making improvements for wireless. Yeah, so, I mean, you would have to see it for yourself, right? Because depending on who you are and how, like, perceptive or sensitive your eyes are, this experience, wireless, might be a stellar experience with the foveated, like, you know, tech in there and stuff. So, I think it's one of those things where once they start having display models up at, like, Best Buy and whatever other, I guess, Micro Center and other places that do VR demos, I think it would be very interesting to see in person. I have mixed feelings about wireless. I ended up getting a super long USB-C cable for my Xbox controller that I used to play on my HCBC in the living room because it's maddening when you're gaming and lose signal in the heat of battle. Oh man, how far away do you sit, Patrick McGovern? I feel like my problem with wireless, that if I've ever had one, is like batteries dying in the heat of the moment. But signal-wise, I've never really had an issue with wireless controllers like that. But batteries dying when you don't expect it and you don't, like, have any right next to you to put in, I think that has been my biggest annoyance with wireless stuff. And then with the VR headset, same thing's gonna happen, right? Like you're only gonna be able to game a certain amount of time before you have to charge it or keep it plugged in while you're playing, because, you know, all this like graphics and processing power in such a small form factor, it can only be powered on for so long wirelessly. So I think, yeah, if you're in a sim racer and you're just, it's like you're sitting on the computer, yeah, wireless probably wouldn't matter. It depends also, I'm not sure if they show where Steam frame, do they have, from the pictures, can we see where it connects? Probably off the side a bit, like the Meta. Oh my god, The Verge, I gotta subscribe. Engadget. Do we have like a good view around this whole thing? I know the YouTuber said Valve uses a Wi-Fi 6E and is independent. Yeah, that dongle, but if you have a Wi-Fi 6E router or better, it will get interference. I guess interference in what way? Like, is it just a little bit slightly more latency, or at least 8 feet from the TV? Interesting. Okay, I was playing games, suddenly we disconnect for a second. Huh? And this was like a standard Xbox controller? I feel like I play sometimes from longer distances than that, and haven't had an issue. The interference only applies if you don't do some manual channel configuration. Okay, let me even look. That actually poses a pretty good question. I'm curious what generation of like Wi-Fi everyone has in their house. I gotta look that up for myself, because I have not bought a router for many years. I feel like I'm due. I have a TP-Link in there. What's going on with TP-Link? Like, are they gonna not be sold in the US anymore or something? Security concerns or whatever was going on. Weren't they gonna be banned in the US? I think they're still being sold, but let me see. Improving Wi-Fi in your house. That's not buying it from Amazon, hooking it up. Unfortunately, I don't think people care to watch my channel like that, like they would like Linus or something. If I make a video like that, that'll be dead in the water, because it's not related to like gaming PCs. Though the server video did decently well. Yeah, the last time I bought a router was 2020, so we're coming up on 5 years, and it was a TP-Link Wi-Fi 6 router. But I want to run a poll on that after we do the VR one for a little bit longer. But what are all the common Wi-Fi signal protocols? What's the best way to ask this? Like, what are the modern ones, I guess? Because I can only pick 4 for the poll, so we want to ask. So what would we ask, like, in the poll? Wi-Fi 7, 6, 6E, and 5? Yeah, I don't know if anyone has been using N802.11n for a while. How many versions of 6 is there, though? 'Cause okay, is it just 6E for that that exclusive band? Yeah, I don't even have Wi-Fi 6E. When did that come out? Or when did that become like kind of normalized? Was it post 2020? Okay. Bolts are still coming in for the VR, so we'll wait for a second. So yeah, it's gonna be 5, which, oh man, what year was that? 2013. Yes, my just post-college years. New PC I bought has Wi-Fi 7. Let's see. Wi-Fi 7 versus 6E speeds. I don't keep up to date with Wi-Fi standards, so I have to look this up. And even after I look it up now, I'm gonna forget it like tomorrow. It's just not something I worry about or deal with on a daily basis. So, okay, so 6E is basically 10 gig, and then this is like 46 gig ish. Okay. With regards to range though, okay, dumb networking question from guy who doesn't network here. In terms of if you want it, does speeds improve on all the frequency bands when you do have like the newer standards? Like for Wi-Fi 7, because 2.4 is still like the longest range one, right? 2.4, because a lot of devices for our smart home in our house, I still run 2.4 because of the range that you get from it. But going from like a Wi-Fi 6 to a Wi-Fi 7 router, do you get improved speeds on all the bands? Oh, it does. Okay, I might need to start looking into Wi-Fi 7 routers then, because well, the 2.4 for most devices it doesn't matter, like for smart home like switches and stuff like that. I feel like for some of our cameras, because we do have a Wi-Fi based like camera system all around the house, that because it's a video feed, sometimes it is slower to access them, or the quality is just not as good. So how much a Wi-Fi? Maybe I gotta look for this on Black Friday for Wi-Fi 7 router. Let me see. Where are these going for? Yeah, but now it's time eventually you need a higher frequency band for higher speeds at the cost of range. That's my biggest issue. Like, given the way that our house is laid out, going down here to the basement, I got these freaking puck thingies. Oh, I can't really show, you can't see it, but I got these deco pucks to try to help with it, and I don't know, it doesn't feel like it seems like it helps barely. Let me see if I can bring it up on the where the heck is it? Oh, it's gonna come up, or am I gonna have to change some settings? I'm gonna have to change some settings. Droid cam. Where are you? Oh. I need to turn Wi-Fi on. Whoops. Okay. Okay, no personal information. Yeah, this right here. So I got one of these. I got these pucks and placed them like all around the house. And they did improve speeds, but not by as much as I would have liked them to. So if just getting a better router with better range and 5 years, I think that's a pretty reasonable length of time to now upgrade routers. I'm okay with spending some money on it. I don't know, man. Okay, now I'm curious what people's Wi-Fi routers you guys have. Let me know in the chat, because there's too many polls to be run. Okay, what Wi-Fi protocol are you running at home? Wi-Fi 7, Wi-Fi 6E, Wi-Fi 6, Wi-Fi 5. Curious to hear that, but then also time to get a Ubiquiti setup. No, Ubiquiti. That's what Jake, who recently left Linus Media Group, I think he like loves Ubiquiti, and I think he recently did a sponsored video. But then I saw some of the routers were like really expensive. I don't know if I need the Wi-Fi speed that much. Let me see, Ubiquiti router. So that's a Wi-Fi 6 one. Wi-Fi 7. I deploy Ubiquiti at work a ton. Here's an access point. Express Cloud Gateway. What is this? What is a cloud gateway? Or mesh to extend. Wait. Optionally adopted layer. No, I need straight up. Is this a router? You can get a good set for under $4,000. Okay, I don't think for most normal, reasonable people, spending $4,000 on a Wi-Fi setup is like a normal occurrence. Even as someone who does, you know, like YouTube and stuff, you would think like, oh yeah, he can just drop that kind of money. No, that's not how it works. Like, dropping over $1,000 to redo my network sounds like a lot of money, let alone $4,000 to redo my network setup. Ubiquiti is basically affordable enterprise. Yeah, but the fact that it's still classified as enterprise class still puts it well above like the consumer grade stuff. Okay, Wi-Fi 7 routers. But if this isn't gonna help the range, I think my speeds otherwise are not that bad. It's mostly a range thing. You're better off renting a Wi-Fi 7. Yeah, I don't know what my ISP, how much the renting is nowadays, but they wanted me to rent initially, but you know how it works, right? Like, they charge you $15 a month over the course of a year. You could have bought like a $150 router and owned it outright so that you could sell it at the end of the day or use it for secondary uses afterwards. But where's all the Wi-Fi? So that's the Ubiquiti one. Let me go back to looking just for Wi-Fi 7 routers. So it's looking like $200. They have cheaper ones from TP-Link. Anything else? Yeah, they have a bunch. This is one of the things where though, like, even if I watch review videos of routers, I feel like at the end of the day, most of them, they kind of get the job done well enough. But if I care about range, maybe I need to specifically watch videos that test the range. And like, not just range, but like going through walls. So I guess potential like interference and stuff. Ubiquiti Dream Machine SE and 2 U7 access points, and you'll be good. 1 access point in the basement, 1 in the ceiling of the main floor. But yeah, lots of money. That's the issue, the lots of money part. I should reach out to Ubiquiti and be like, hey, you want to sponsor a video? But then again, also, that's like me doing a sponsored video for thousands of dollars worth of networking gear under the guise of Nerd on a Budget. Even though it is budget enterprise grade stuff, I don't think that's like a dead in the water video. The CIA is using Wi-Fi 7 signals to detect human bodies with the band, basically being able to tell who is in rooms. You're talking about like the CIA is using that to spy on us citizens, like all US citizens. Anyone who has a Wi-Fi, they could easily tap in. I feel like, is that any more of an invasion of privacy than our phones already listening to us right now? Even right now, with it in sleep mode? Oh, I would never assume that. But you're saying it's just it's able to do that? My entire network setup cost me $120, but it's all thrift store finds except for the Aorus Surfboard Max. That was heavily discounted when I bought it. All right. I need to make a note. We're gonna look for a new router. Black Friday. See if we can find some deals. Maybe some refurbished deals. I'm okay with refurbished. It's just a router. It just sits there. But alright. Dang, that's pretty interesting. I was not aware of that. eBay, a Ubiquity setup. All right, let's look at the thing that Chris was just saying. So, Ubiquity Dream Machine SE. Oh, it is like an old one. We want like a Wi-Fi 7 one though, right? Are people just not... I mean... I don't... Oh, whoops. I'm looking at the wrong... I'm on the wrong screen. Sorry. I think there might be more than one Dream Machine model out. Oh, so this works with Dream Machine? Okay, so then what was the other device that you said? A U7 access point. Huh. Okay. So there's one brand new for 180. So 360 for 2. So we're still talking about like $500 range. Oh, that seems so expensive. I'm so used to just buying every like 5 or 6 years. Or 6 or 7 years. Like a $200 or less router. Now spending triple the amount. Cisco Enterprise with a Starlink? Wait, you talking about Starlink like the Elon's Starlink thing? I don't think that would be a solution for me. That's for like, isn't that for like, if you live in like just out in the middle of nowhere and you can't get like fiber line to you? Asus AI Mesh. What's Asus? Are we talking about AI in the same? Oh, AI Mesh. Okay. What is AI about this mesh though? Why is AI in the name? Connects multiple compatibles, create a home mesh. The flexible, scalable technology lets you mix different AI mesh compatible routers. Okay. So AI Mesh from Asus potentially. I'm just taking down some notes. We'll revisit this. I'll try to stream on Black Friday itself, if not that week still, but okay. And that's Asus. You would think, but there are 12 houses. What are Starlink speeds even? Okay, 1 second. We're just going where the chat takes us, which is a good thing because, you know, if that's what you guys want to talk about, that's what I'm here for. But let me take a look real quick at... So we talked about Steam stuff. Oh, I did... Okay, let me wrap up before we talk more about this Wi-Fi stuff, because this feels like a rabbit hole. where's that new controller? This thing. When I first saw this, I thought this looked a little weird. But again, like I said earlier, I have not had enough time to play on the other... Remember the original Steam controller with the circles, cross thingies? This thing. This shape reminds me a little bit, if I can find it. Or maybe it's more of a... Where's the original... So, the original Xbox controller, before they came out with the controller S, it was this kind of gigantic thing. And for some reason, this kind of... Something about the big bulkiness of it reminds me of it. But it's more square. This is more rounded. What is it? Dreamcast controller? What controller... Hey, obviously, the layout's a little bit different. But you know what I'm talking about, right? We're looking like a gigantic... Like... shield-shaped thing. I don't know. This... I find the design interesting. It might be ergonomic, but just based on images, no, come on. It doesn't look... Oh, this one looks better. Wait, what is this? Like a fan made? Oh, I think someone... Is this... Oh, 1 year ago. We'll likely explore Steam Controller 2. This one... Oh, the spacing on this is very weird. Having everything moved up so much just because of these touchpads. But... Yeah, this thing... I mean, it basically is that, except minus the Xbox overall shape. Let me see. Let me hold the controller in my hand. I can't find myself to spend more than $30 on a controller, which thus far has been a standard Xbox on sale. Yeah, or just like any of the generic Chinese ones that mimic the shape of the Xbox. But yeah, this thing, like if I were to hold this and to try to mimic pressing buttons, I guess it depends on the size of it. But everything being shifted up so far, it seems a little odd to me. But I think this is something you just have to hold in your hand to know for sure. I actually love how durable the Xbox controller is and how easy it is to repair. I mean, one of the things about it too is because it is the ease of repair, but accessibility for replacement parts, or like if you need a 3D print accessories for it, because so many controllers follow that shape. It's pretty universal in that respect. You could probably 3D print a shell for it pretty easily too, like if you wanted to change colors or replace like a battery bay cover and things like that. So yeah, I think the Xbox, being just one of the more popular or most used controllers, has that going for it, as opposed to like these more unique shapes. This would be like playing on a Switch. Yeah, the Switch is even worse, I feel, because it's like so thin. It's so horrible ergonomically. Dreamcast mentioned. Chris, what's the Astro Pad? Or is that what the controller was called? Oh, I was not aware. I've never owned a Dreamcast. I've only ever played on one from like a family member when I visited. I did not know they had controllers called Astro Pad. We've been on, yeah, we have been on for an hour 40. I hope we can stay on for a decent amount of time. We have no backup today. Both my mother-in-law and sister-in-law, they are each taking separate vacations, and they usually are here to help with the girls. So Melissa's got both girls by herself for this entire time. Maybe I might have to grab one of them in a bit, but we're doing, I think, decent on time. We'll see. Melissa will come call for help if she needs. 8-bit Do controllers are one of the best. I'm a fan of 8-bit Do, or how is that how you say 8-bit Do? I say 8-bit Do like Nintendo, but I've seen people pronounce it as 8-bit Do. But I'm a fan of their controllers as well. I've actually bought, I don't have one myself, but I bought them as gifts for people before. I think 8-bit though is for the most part like a pretty like well-respected brand, like a trustworthy brand, good value, stuff like that. I get violent when I'm gaming sometimes, and you can straight punch the crap out of an Xbox controller and it takes it like a champ. When connecting console controllers to PC, the most common problem is firmware not having Bluetooth 5.2. Remember when controllers... Well, I mean, technically, so dongles are... I don't know what the response time differences is, or like the latency differences between playing on Bluetooth versus using like a dedicated dongle. But to me, the convenience of Bluetooth, even, I mean, when I'm using a controller, I'm not playing competitive games anyways. So, like, the slightly higher delay, to me, I don't even really feel or care about it. But yeah, having a controller with just, like, I think this is my first controller that has Bluetooth built in, which has been really nice because previously, I would have to use, like, a dongle, which is annoying because then you have to keep track of a dongle on top of a controller, and if you misplace the dongle, then you gotta wire in for it. So, yeah, I'm totally okay with like dongles faster, but how much faster? And if it's that much faster for a casual like me playing casual single player, non-multiplayer, non-competitive games, Bluetooth being slower is fast enough for me apparently. But I think the convenience of Bluetooth is kind of like understated. People trying to connect PS5 controllers to Bluetooth 2.0. The GameSir G7. What is that? GameSir G7. Oh, I think I've heard of this brand, but okay. So pretty standard. There's. I mean, you go on Amazon. We can even narrow it down. So like, controller for PC, right? Like, you're gonna get your Xboxes, but then you're gonna get all these Ease, SMX, Acer games. So you got a bunch of these brands. But if you want like to even narrow it down, there's still a ton of different brands. Do you guys care about Hall effect for your controllers at all? I guess I haven't had this green one for long enough to like be annoyed by stick drift and stuff like that. But this seems to be the new standard these days. Did you see the PC security channel video about downloading mice software from the manufacturer and you get a rat on your computer? That sounds like almost a dad joke, but I did not see that. If you're talking about an actual video and you're not just saying a dad joke. They used to sell the dongle with the controller, but yes. Like if you look up Xbox controller dongle. Like, bro, 30 bucks almost, $20. I mean, some of these, this is compatible, but if it's not an official Microsoft one, would you trust it? Would you trust the third party? I probably would because I'm cheap as heck. But just having to spend additional money on top of a controller is not very compelling to me. So I'm just like, screw it. I use the Bluetooth. Yeah, I was just seeing some stuff about the TMR tech, which is what I believe the new Steam controller is gonna have. It's gonna have TMR tech or whatever in it. But yeah, a lot more durable in the long term. The Mamda 1 controller. What is this? Interactive screen Whoa, it's got. So this is kind of nice for when you're doing things like pairing to like know what the heck is going on. But what else can you do with the screen? Aside, so oh, you can change the settings. You probably like change sensitivities and stuff like that, right? So here's like the manual adjustments for your trigger settings. You can change LED colors and LED modes, okay, and brightness of the screen. Wait, what else do you use the screen for? Dude, is this too advanced of a controller? Look at this thing. It's like got a kind of semi-translucent body. It's got the RGB. It's got extra like home buttons and well, home start. Oh no, those are the standard home and back start select buttons. But then this LCD screens with even more settings menus in it. For $70, it actually doesn't sound too bad. I think standard. What's a standard Xbox controller? How much do these things go for? Yeah, these are already going for like $50. But on sale, you can usually get them for a decent amount cheaper. Power A. Ooh, good old budget brand Power A. With their $26 controller. I used Bluetooth for a while, but it kept dropping. I would have to reconnect way too often. Okay. I think that's what Patrick was saying earlier. It would disconnect at like the worst times. So that's why you prefer the dongle. Okay. Ooh, I just remembered. There were some things I did want to look at in I posted to the Stream Submissions channel. Project Mix, indie VR title, inspired by the 90s. But we gotta look at the other thing. Where is it? Where is it? Okay. This is actually from N2 Tech. But N2 Tech sent this deal over. Speaking of Minis Forum and Steam Machine alternatives and stuff like that. This Atom G7 Ti refurbished was going for under $500. It has a 14900HX, which I'm not aware if it was only the desktop 14th and 13th gen high-end processors having problems, or if laptops and small form factors were also having the issue. So I don't know if that's a concern or not. But this bare bones kit, where you will have to bring your own RAM and SSD. This thing has... Oh, where's the specs at? They don't have the specs. I would have to bring in... This thing has an RTX 4070 mobile in it. Which is kind of nuts. If you're trying to build a small form factor, like living room gaming PC. Specs. Yeah. RTX 4070 mobile, but in that small form factor for this price, it had to be refurbished. That was kind of crazy. But in general, like, I have so many... Minis Forum specifically had reached out to me so many times to work with them, like, to do a video. Either they'll send over a review unit, or I don't know if they've ever wanted to do a sponsored video. I would have to go check. Well, like, I have not done any mini PC content on the channel to date because I don't know if viewers would be interested in it. I feel like most of us have gaming desktops and we like it for the ease of upgradability, and, you know, if something goes wrong, you can swap a part out. You can't really do that with these mini machines. They aside from the RAM and storage, so it's kind of like a laptop where, like, if once the main board dies or the power supply dies, or this one, I don't know if this would be off of like a charging brick similar to a laptop, but like once the main board on this dies, or like the CPU, like, you can't just easily replace it without replacing the whole thing. It's kind of a niche category. So with that respect, and the fact that it's not the cheapest thing in the world, to kit this thing out to be gaming ready if you bought it new, it'd be like pretty expensive. Even this used one, like 500 here, another like 60 on an SSD, and then for RAM now that it's kind of skyrocketed, you're looking at like at least like around maybe a $600 to $700 setup for an upgradable machine. So I just wanted to gauge people's interest in mini PC content like this, because as interesting as they are, their lack of upgradability, I think, is the biggest downside. Some of these other mini PCs that they have, though, are like a lot cheaper. So that one, because it has like an RTX 4070, is kind of expensive. But look at, okay, maybe not some of these super cheap ones, but they have some that are like $300-$400 that has like APUs in them that could be pretty interesting. And they sell docks too, the ones with the you know, that you could hook up a power supply and GPU to enhance the performance, essentially. What's that connector? That's not Thunderbolt. I forgot what it's called already. But yeah, some of them have that, and that helps it out. I don't mind watching them, but I don't care for them. Yeah, I feel like if anything, people might be interested to watch it, but I guess at the end of the day, that's all that matters. I'm not trying to be a salesman, really. When I'm making videos or like doing sponsored content, I'll like, you know, I'll say those things in the video because that's what the sponsorship requires. But whether or not you guys actually go and buy them, it's up to you. Like, I, for the most part, when I make content, is because I'm interested in messing around with whatever product that is, and then just even shedding light on it to me is enough. Like, trying to convert you guys to like into the view into a sale, I don't care about. Like, the commission, if they ever offer commission, I don't care. It's more like I provided a video that gave you guys at least entertainment, if not showed you guys something that, you know, you didn't know about. But I definitely like to have a mini PC to play around with, but not super interested in them. Yeah, so that's kind of the boat I'm in. Like, I don't think I would daily drive any of these ever. Maybe I'll hook it up to my living room PC, so I have a ITX system up there now, but I'll probably, then I can take that ITX system away and have something super portable. Yeah, for TV gaming would be that, and like TV streaming, TV, you know, web browsing and stuff. I think these are super useful for. But of course, if I ever got my hands on one of these, I'm definitely gonna test it against games, like, and push it to see how far the hardware can go. But yeah, I would just buy a laptop. Well, the thing about this over a laptop is it's definitely, there are much cheaper ones that are more powerful, because they do save money in, you know, not having to provide you with a monitor, trackpad, and keyboard, and, you know, a standalone system, but that can work by itself. Like this, you have to hook up peripherals to. They're basically reshaped laptops minus the monitor. Yeah, like they're not as thin, but they do take up a smaller footprint. Oculink, that's what it was. Yes, Oculink connector. Which I think newer ones of these, I think it's starting to become more of a standard. I bought a mini PC with the N150 mainly for GeForce Now cloud gaming. Dreams 420. Are you... Wait, is there a free... I forget. We've looked at GeForce Now multiple times now, and I always forget. GeForce Now free. Is there a free tier for GeForce Now? The GeForce Now free tier offers basic cloud gaming access with limitations such as 1-hour sessions. So it still has a free tier? But do you pay for it? We don't talk about GeForce Now to cloud gaming often, but every time it comes up, I'm always very curious. For the people who do mention it, I think last stream we had someone mention it. But I'm curious if you guys pay for the subscription tier of it. There's a free tier I play. Oh, you pay for 20 bucks the ultimate tier a month. Yeah, 20 bucks, that's $240 a year. That's still way cheaper than a gaming PC could be. It would take like 4 or 5 years to equal a pretty decent gaming PC in the cloud subscription. And for me, I'm not against cloud gaming. I just think there's a very like niche audience it caters to. Because there's definitely use cases for it. But I think a lot of people, they like dunk on cloud gaming all the time because the whole, you know, you don't own, at the end of the day, after paying so much money, you don't own a thing. But there's so many subscription services that we do pay for that we never end up owning at the end of the day. Like, you know, all the streaming services that we do subscribe to, Hulu, Netflix, I subscribe to YouTube Premium, like those things people are more okay with. And at the end of the day, you don't own any of the movies or shows that you watch on those, and no one bats an eye. But when people mention cloud gaming, it's like the worst, you know, value proposition in the world, which I never really understood. So that could be a whole discussion in itself, though. You should get a child for science. That could be a fun video if I wasn't already just like stacked to the brim with back burner videos I need to get done. But if I ever ran out of video ideas, yeah, I'm just gonna write that down, because that has been something that has crossed my mind to do a video on, and it'd be a pretty, like, you know, paying for a $20 subscription and getting a pretty cool video out of it wouldn't be the end of the world. That's totally well worth the investment. But it's just more of I've got other videos that I need to do first, but yeah. I have fiber internet, so it is very stable. I'm playing Arc Raiders, no problem. And with GeForce Now, you get the access to the library of games too, right? Like, you don't have to own Arc Raiders, which cost, how much is Arc Raiders? Like 40 bucks. Also, who's been playing Arc Raiders? Are you guys like, anyone who bought Arc Raiders but did not like it? I still need to buy it. I do plan on buying it. If anything, I'm seeing if I can hold off for long enough till Black Friday and see if they go on sale for Black Friday. That'd be a tough one, because you only get access to the games you own, so you don't get access to a library as well. Okay. Is there a subscription tier that gives you access to it, like the most ultimate tier? Yeah, Arc Raiders is only $40, which is a very reasonable ask for a game. Because it's not super expensive, I'm more like inclined to believe they might actually give like a $10 discount on Black Friday, but we'll see. I'm gonna end up buying it eventually. It's just I wouldn't have had time to really play it anyways right now. So buying it closer to the holidays would be would make no difference to me. But I've been seeing, like, my YouTube feed is just filled with, like, you know, a lot of Arc Raiders content as of recent. Seems like it is maybe not gonna be game of the year because it's a multiplayer game, but it seems to be doing very well. More so because of the unique experiences. I mean, I'm sure the gameplay is fine, but you see a lot of viral clips with Arc Raiders because of the different interactions people have in-game itself. Which is kind of interesting, how now it's more like the experience rather than just the core gameplay itself that people are kind of yearning for. My feed is full of RV There Yet. I've never heard of this game. RV There Yet. Co-op. Is this like LAN party potential? Oh my god. How many players is this? RV There Yet. Please be like at least 8 players. Unofficial mods. 24 players. I've not seen any RV There Yet in my feed. Okay, I'm linking this. Okay, someone asked something about the LAN, so let me get this into my LAN chat real quick. LAN games list. So what is this? Technically officially supported? 4-player official. 4 players officially supported. 24 with mods. Okay. This seems like it could be a pretty fun game. But regarding LAN, who asked about it? LAN. No, had your group had the fall LAN party yet? No. So we had to, it was supposed to be this coming weekend, actually. Originally, we set that date, but because of everything going on, some people's work schedules had to be shifted around because of like the government shutdown and, you know, contracts being moved around and stuff like that. So we had some core members of LAN who last minute could not make it to this coming weekend if we had the LAN due to work related travels that they could not get out of. So then we made the last minute decision to move it, and the next date that worked out is in December. So we are going to have our second LAN party of 2025 in December, which is going to be kind of crazy because I have to get the LAN party out. I have to release 2 LAN parties a year. That's been a thing except for the COVID years, but it's been a thing since almost forever. So we're going to land in December, and then I'm going to get like less than 2 weeks to wrap up the video and then release it before the end of the year, probably around winter break time frame. So that's the update on LAN related stuff. So did I send you the auto LAN thing from San Diego LAN? From San Diego LAN? I'm not sure. You might have. Was this when we were talking about whale LAN, or is this different? Are we there yet? And it's only an $8 game. That's the amazing thing about some of these indie titles that gives you like super fun experiences. They don't even cost that much. Are we there yet is fun. What? Okay, let's see. I think so. We're talking about GeForce Now. They used to have a library of games, but they got rid of it. Oh, okay. Yeah, I thought that was a key thing in my mind. One of the features of it, I thought, as well. Wait, Auto LAN from San Diego LAN. Auto LAN. What is it? Is this like a virtual LAN type thing? AI from Google says the query Auto LAN San Diego LAN likely refers to a Carbine service called Auto Land and not a local LAN. Automated LAN party. This thing? ALP download manager makes it easy for everyone at the event to have the same game collection. It automatically provides all the game files needed for clients in one package. Keeps everything organized, ensures everyone has the correct versions. But this would be for if you're playing older non-Steam games, right? Where like you're playing stuff that are like from locally installed files. Yeah, like the older games. Peak, we got Peak on the list. We got RV there yet. And those are the indie games. Yeah. Accelerates. Hey Danny, just want to say I absolutely love your channel. I'm so proud to have found you on my YouTube recommended last year since I watched all your LAN videos. Love from Scotland. What time is it in Scotland right now? I just typed in Scotland. It's time. What is the time? 3:09 a.m. Oh my goodness. What are you doing up? But thanks for the kind words. I appreciate it. I'm glad you enjoyed the footage or the content and the LAN stuff. Vane, first person. Vane. I think I saw ads for that. I can't just type in Vane. Otherwise, I'm literally gonna get Vanes. Shooter game. Steam. Vane. Okay, I saw this one. When did this come out? Just the other couple weeks ago. Online co-op. Was this one that I thought looked kind of like H1Z1? I'm so down to play zombie survival games. Though we haven't played 7 Days to Die yet together, but Vane, Steam. Is it only the Vane can have servers up to 32? Oh, I could probably host it on my own, or one other player co-op mode. Vane, 32 players. Oh, this is only $20. I would totally be down for this. I think this would be a select group playing this though. Veiny shooter. Yeah. Okay. Sorry, we gotten so off topic. So it sounds like people would potentially be interested in the mini PC stuff. So maybe I'll actually respond to one of their emails instead of just ignoring it like I have been. Anything else in stream submissions? Oh, this was pretty cool. Have you guys ever seen this connector? You guys probably have. These little passports have it. Let me see if I can pull one up. Like, if you have ever used an external hard drive or something, it'll have that connector. You can see it right there, kind of, if this focuses. I learned the other night that this what kind of looks like a proprietary or unique connector, not proprietary. I think this is a USB standard, but if you lose this cable, because it's easy to lose cables, you could just use a micro USB on half of this connector and it still works. So let me see. Where's my... I don't even know if I really... I do have one. I have one of those for my dual SATA SSDs. Yeah. So like you could use a standard micro USB connector with this thing apparently. And yep, it does fit in. So only half of it. And I'm gonna plug this into my dock now and see if this drive pops up as readable. Apparently it's just slower, but I mean no slower than, you know, micro USB or wherever your USB speed is anyway, right? So I heard it. It's spinning. The only thing is this is a spinning drive, so I wonder. Yeah, these drives have been powered by micro USB before, so it should have enough power. They're only 2.5 inch, probably 5400 RPM drives, so. The Samsung S5 had that USB port. I would imagine having a device that uses this is kind of annoying because, well, until you found out that it actually can use standard USB-C, not USB-C, micro USB, because, yeah, keeping track of specific cables like this and not more common cables has always been annoying. Like, I always hated mini USB. Micro was fine because a lot of devices had it, but you guys remember mini USB, right? Those were the most annoying because only some devices had it and like your phone didn't have it, so it was less likely you would just have one always laying around to use. Yeah, so this one, mini USB, so annoying. Which devices that I think some of my microphones, like the Blue Yeti, had this, and I was like, why? I guess a good thing about mini USB was that because you see how how many micro USB tips have you bent in your lifetime? I've bent plenty because they're so thin. I guess with this one, you do get a little bit more of like durability or rigidity to it because it, the cross section is more square and not like super thin. So these are harder to bend, which is one good thing about it. But the fact that not many devices used it, anytime I for LAN, I do pull out the microphone that uses this connector, so then it takes me a second to find the cable every single time. Like, I don't know why. I need to just keep the cable with the device. Yes, I'm old enough to effing hate... I don't even remember what years micro USB was really, prevalent before micro came around and became, more commonplace. My HTC Aorus had mini USB, and the funny thing is, if you had a phone that used this, it's pretty telling that your phone was probably kind of thick and bulky, because to fit a port this wide in it, you can't really put it on thin phones. So my Nikon D3100 had mini USB. Yeah, it was a horrible, horrible in that it just wasn't common enough that you would have a ton of cables for. Like, I've amassed so many micro USB cables over the years before USB-C came around, and now I'm doing the same thing for USB-C. But mini USB, I only ever had like a few cables for, and I always misplace it. It is almost the end of stream time, but we'll see how the girls are doing. So I will be, yeah, we're already 2 hours 15 into stream. I think, yeah, I pretty much pulled up for the most part. Oh, except this thing that Chris had. But I will give me 1 second. Let me check on them and see if I have to actually end stream. Okay, we are back. I've got one of them. I have relieved mommy for a little bit. Hello, how are you doing? Girl, you're going crazy. Have you fed yet? Give me 1 second. I need to check the app. Oh, you ate 8 minutes ago? Nice. So you are set. You are happy. Happy. USB-C is a godsend? Yes, it is. USB-C, it's time to stop changing standards, right? Increase speeds, all you want and stuff, but I think keeping the shape and backwards compatibility with old devices, it is time to keep USB-C. Primarily because you can't put it in the wrong way. You could flip it, 180 and it still works. But yeah, I don't know why there would be a need to go for to anything else aside from USB-C from here on out, unless they needed to increase the size. But if they do that, they need to keep it symmetric still, because my goodness, how many times have you tried to plug something in the back of your computer and it just didn't fit because you got the orientation wrong? Do you think a 2 terabyte hard drive would be a good storage for Steam transfer games and movies and TV shows? What is a Steam transfer game? Do you mean to keep on your system so you can transfer to other PCs on your network? For movies and TV shows, yeah, spinning discs are just fine. When you say Steam transfer games, though, I don't know in what context, if I'm understanding it correctly. So, no, so the song from that Be Right Back screen is actually from an anime called Yu Yu Hakusho. And it's just like a bright, happy song that I like, so I put it in there, but it sounds like SeaWorld music once they're done. I have not heard that one yet. To keep on my system. Oh! Gotcha. So kind of like a Steam archive is what you're saying, and so that it's accessible to transfer to other devices or to put back on your SSD if you're actively playing it. Yeah, I think that's fine. Transfer rates over to HDDs are, if you're doing a network transfer, that's fine. But the annoying thing is, if you were trying to play right then and there, moving something to your SSD is on the slower side just because you're limited by the speed of the hard drive. But if it's something that you like do over, you know, while taking a break or overnight, then yeah. I think for me, it might be, because I have fiber, I think it's faster to download Steam games than it is to pull it off of a spinning hard drive. But it does use up bandwidth and stuff like that, so. Sorry, off topic, but do you have FSD in your Tesla? I don't, N2 Tech, and because it's too expensive. It's either $100 a month, or I know they've changed the price over the years. I think it's like, how much is FSD now? Like 8,000? Let me see. FSD. How much is FSD? But the dumb thing is, if you buy it outright, it stays with the car and not you or your Tesla account. And for something that's digital like that, or like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just a software code that they enable or disable. Like, to have FSD, the capability is already there in your car. It's whether or not they enable it or not. But to spend, which right now, yeah, they lowered the price before. I think it's been down to like $4,000, but it's up to $8,000 to buy that. And then if you were to get a new one in the future, like let's say 5-10 years down the road, and sell off the old car and not have that come with you for something that's already like, you know, software and digital, that doesn't sit right with me. But I will say FSD is pretty amazing. When they give away the free monthly trials, or when we first got the car, I used FSD a lot, and I was amazed by what it could do. It's not perfect, but it gets it right like over 95% of the time. And if you're just on like a long road trip on the freeway, not going into inner roads and stuff, it does it pretty well. So I maybe if FSD was like $1,000, I would consider it, but yeah, $8,000, and it doesn't come with you when you get your new Tesla, no way. They do offer transfer a couple times. Wait, that's a thing? You can actually transfer FSD for free? I've never heard of that. I've never heard of that coming up when people talk about why that's one of the downfalls of it. Transfer costs. Free as part-time limited offer to existing owners. FSD. Okay, so you would have to. Well, if they do it a couple of times a year, that would be good enough. But how does that work if you already sold the car and FSD is with the other car? So you would have to have this transfer window be at the same time as you are looking to, and you have to like own both the cars at the same time, right? Because I would imagine they wouldn't just take FSD off of a car that someone bought from you 6 months ago, right? Or I don't know. I guess I would have to look into how that works. Has to be on a new car. Interesting. Going back to the HDD thing. Oh, no. Yeah, so if you have it on an archive, what you would do is you would move it over to Steam, or move it to your SSD, and then on Steam, you like try to reinstall it, and it'll redetect the location, and it'll update the files as necessary. Or you could just go in and quote unquote uninstall it. No, you wouldn't want to do that. Yeah, you could just set the new install path, and then it should automatically detect and update. Steam's pretty good at this. What year's mine? So mine's technically a 2025 non-Juniper Tesla Model Y. And we bought it right before they gave official details for the Juniper. So I like the look of ours better, but the Juniper does have better suspension, and it does have that front-facing camera. So it's like, I would like the original design and chassis with some of those more smaller improvements from the Juniper. But we've been enjoying the car. It's been awesome. It fits everything we need to when we go shopping with the girls, with the double stroller, with the we have the 2 car seats in there. It's been a really good car. BMW had monthly subscription heated seats. So gross. Yeah, to me that's like the weirdest thing in the world. I kind of get subscription for something like FSD, which does rely on, you know, like it's constantly collecting data. It's constantly, I don't know, does FSD use AI at all? Or does it just use like algorithms that it's trained on? But either way, like FSD is an actively worked on thing. So having a cost to it or a subscription makes sense. But heated seats, unless there's going to be DLC and upgrades and patches down the road to how the seats are going to heat your butt, I don't, like, why does that need to be a subscription and not just like a premium? Does BMW let you buy the heated seats outright, or is it only subscription ever? So the Steam machine, will it play Epic games? I'm not super well versed with Steam OS and how it works with other launchers. I thought, to my knowledge, you could have run other launchers on it. So if that's the case, then it shouldn't be a problem. But I have not played around with Steam OS personally. Can I use a 3060 with a 600 watt 80 plus? Yeah, no, you could use a 3060 for the most part, assuming you don't have like a crazy CPU. But even if you did, you're probably fine. If you have a decent unit, 600 watts is plenty. You could run a 3060 on like a 500 watt power supply, probably even a 450 watt quality power supply. 600 is fine. Gold doesn't mean anything. Gold just is the efficiency with how much power is pulling from the wall versus how much actually gets to your system. Gold, there are really bad quality gold power supplies. So it depends on the model. You have it, yeah, 10700K, 600 watts is fine. You're good. Even if you had a kind of crappy PSU model, 600 watts gives you enough headroom that you shouldn't really have to worry. You really want to touch the keyboard, love, huh? Okay, we sit here. You don't get to touch the keyboard because you might mess with the settings of the stream, but you can sit here and almost pretend that you're typing. One day we will do typing together. I will learn to type properly while you girls learn to type. Look at her, she's ready. Look at her fingers. She's already in the typing position. Okay, okay. What up, Aaron? Yes, this is a good point too. PC part picker, if you populate it, it will tell you what the power requirements will be. And it's pretty good about it. I think if anything, they err on the more conservative side, but it'll tell you that your 600 watts is fine. Not to mention Tesla assisted driving, eventually it will be like Waymo. I have not driven in a robo-taxi before. I'm not against it, but I just don't have opportunities where I can ride in them. So it's pretty interesting though. It's kind of funny how people who are super against it, they do things to make it like freak out. Like, weren't they like putting cones on them or something? Or like putting cones in front of them? How have you found being a dad so far? Also, congratulations. It is so much more work than I could have ever imagined. Yeah, definitely when it comes to like new chapters of your life types, transitions, being a parent is like the biggest transition ever. Like, you know, there's that transition from going from high school to college, and then from college to your career, and then now to this. This is like the biggest life-changing, altering thing I've ever done. But it is very rewarding. A lot of work, but very rewarding. And I may also be blessed with some pretty well-behaved girls. I think people are gonna give you different answers. They are a lot of work, but they're also like, I mean, I feel like every stream the girls have been on, they've been so chill and cool, and they are like that for the most part during the day. It's at nighttime when they become crazy, but I'll take that. Good health and for the most part pretty chill. I would take that any day of the week. I mean, I'll take anything. You don't have a choice once you have kids, but I'm saying I consider myself to be pretty lucky with so far with, you know, their behavior and stuff like that. I'm thinking of selling my house and living out of my Cybertruck. Do you actually have a Cybertruck in decline? I can't tell if you're joking or not, but the Cybertruck, every time I see it on the road, I'm just like, my goodness, that thing is the biggest block of untouched aluminum. It looks like if you were to pull from a scrap pile of like metal that you just have on the side to like do a project, that would be a shape that comes up. An aluminum block similar to the Cybertruck would come up from the scrap pile. This is a good point. So an acquaintance accidentally broke their 6-year-old laptop, looked up eBay and bare bones was only $50. I swapped everything over for them. I wonder how much e-waste is actually out there thanks to Windows 11. My question though is for people who are trying to curb e-waste and trying to extend older hardware onto Windows 11. I still haven't really seen the true pros and cons list of running older hardware with the Windows 11 bypass and workarounds. Because don't you still get some updates? It's just some of the security one that's more hardware reliant. Those are the ones that you don't get. I guess any of you out there have any of you installed Windows 11 on an older non-supported machine and have used it, or are you currently using it extensively, and what are the pitfalls of it? Linux is a true saver of old hardware. This is true, but I actually need to watch that. I think David made a video recently about his experience transitioning to Linux and why it's not for everyone. I think that's kind of the case. As much as people love to, you know, recommend it, it's just for the majority of people, I don't think it's a good fit. Bro and mom are still on 10. I haven't really played around with 10 recently to see what actually has happened with regards to if you try to hit update Windows past, because I mean, Microsoft didn't extend anything in the US, did they? Didn't they only extend support for Windows 10 in like the EU? Or I haven't been following that news. Guess mom will hit 11 on a new laptop when she gets one. Go back far enough and you should not be using Windows 11. My friend's kid, when he was like 3 or 4, locked him out of the house once. He has gone outside to like, wait, what? My friend's kid, when he was like 3 or 4, locked him out of the house once. He had gone outside to check the mail. Oh, okay. You're talking about kids being little mischievous demons. Nowadays, though, well, actually, your friend's kid, how long ago was this story? Because nowadays, with our phones and like keypad, we have a keypad on our garage. So there's a way to get in the house, and if I have my phone, I can unlock it with my phone. So with all the tech nowadays, I feel like getting locked out of your house could be less of a problem if you have the hardware in place. He has other ways in now, yes. Yeah. I've had no issues with 11 after all. Wait, Kale. You've had no issues with 11 after all on older hardware that's technically not supported? These 30-day challenges on Linux are not a fair way to see if Linux is right for you. A minimum of a year is dedicated. It will be only fair trial to relearn your muscle memory and the system. That is a good point. And it's kind of hard to do a 1 year thing because a lot of people use programs that might not be compatible or just a pain to make it work. But I think that is kind of a reflection of actual people, right? Like, so I see what you're saying. 30 days is not enough. But think of the average person that's not even a tech YouTuber who is willing to learn to use Linux. Are they going to even make it past 30 days to relearn the muscle memory? Or are they just going to go the easy route and just stick to Windows, right? So, in a way, yes, it's not fair. But also, it might be a reflection of the majority of, like, computer users out there. I can't bring myself using Linux. There's literally no functional reason to unless a job requires a Unix skill set. I've had Windows 11 since it was released. I haven't had to do much issues. Yeah, I mean, I'm on 11. I've been on it for a while now, too. On my main computer. Like 6 months now, about? No, 7 months. Oh my god, 6-7 always rears his ugly head in. I've been on Windows 11 full-time like 6 or 7 months now. And I've had like 0 complaints about it. So I don't know what the main complaints are. I mean, maybe the privacy security things, the ads being, even those things, I haven't found it enough of a problem where I'm like, I need to switch over to Linux or something alternative. What's going on? Bless you. You okay? I know you're bored, aren't you? Okay, we gotta end stream soon. We are 2 hours and 40 minutes into stream. She is getting a little antsy. She's moving around a lot. So, let's see. Is Ken in the chat tonight? He is not. No, I wonder if he's working. I was gonna see if Ken was in the chat from the latest video. But in terms of upcoming content, I have some fun stuff on the way. Just needing to get to work on them. So yeah, for the most part, you guys are just gonna see me on the streams and in the Discord server on a weekly basis because I cannot pump out one video every single week at this rate. But I am working on stuff, even if I am not releasing long form. What's up? I am lazy. Linux users are people who want to put in the extra step to do what everyone else takes for granted. That's a good way to look at it. I too am lazy. I'm lazy, and not just lazy, but like the time, right? The time to relearn everything. I'm short on time these days. I should have gotten into Linux when I was like in college or post college, like when I had way more time. But these days, I'm just like, give me the easiest solution. I gotta do what I gotta do as efficiently as possible. It's why I haven't switched over from Premiere Pro to DaVinci Resolve. I just need something that works right now, and I can't be bothered to relearn something. It's 3:48. Log, gonna go to bed. Yes, please head to bed. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it. Much love from Seattle to Scotland. And not just by choice, a lot just don't have the time, yeah. I feel like the younger you are, the more time you typically will have. So young people watching, get to learning Linux and shift that market share that Windows currently has a stranglehold over. I had to fight Windows 11. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, I'm running a 3-monitor setup, and I've never, like, the primary versus all the other ones and moving them around and stuff. I haven't run into that problem on this or other machines that I've used Windows 11 on, like on a test bench. But yeah, Windows is filled with bugs. Only 6:38 here in Alaska. Yeah, it's 7:38 here, so it's time for dinner. Got some Zuppa Toscana soup. Got some Zuppa soup. I'm super excited. It's one of my favorite non-Asian soups. Very hearty with a lot of sausage. I work 4/10, so I have 3-day weekends. I have the time, I just don't have the patience. Yeah, patience is also part of the equation. It's not just time. I have one of those small screens that people put in their PCs to use for IDA 64. Oh, the sensor panels. Yeah. Where can I check the Wi-Fi I'm using? Like, whether it's Wi-Fi 6 or 7 and stuff? I think you kind of have to look at your router for that one, right? Well, actually, is there like an app in the Windows Store that tells you which Wi-Fi protocol you're actually on? Actually, Windows might do that by default. Let me check. I've never looked into this. Or if I have, I've forgotten. Let me look at my network panel. Real network settings. Let's see Wi-Fi. Okay. Oh no, it tells you in your Windows. If you go to network connections, like mine says Intel Wi-Fi. Oh no, that's just the adapter. I don't know if that actually tells you what your router is putting out. You can look up what Wi-Fi you're using on your device, but not what you're actually getting into. Let me see. Properties. Yeah, I'm not seeing that. Checking the performance tab. Okay. Let's see. Task manager. Performance. Let's see if that says anything. Ethernet. I did not connect to Wi-Fi. Let me do that real quick. Every time I reset my PC, I don't have it to connect automatically. Okay, Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi connection type 802.11 AC. So it does tell you. Okay, so it does tell you if you go to Task Manager, Performance tab, in Windows 11 anyways. I don't know in Windows 10 if it's slightly different. Okay, you ready to go upstairs? Okay. Alright, y'all. Thanks for the fun stream. We didn't do much deal hunting, but hopefully, maybe we'll do some deal hunting to see what Black November or whatever the heck Newegg has going on. But then we do have Black Friday coming up in like a couple of weeks, so maybe potentially exciting times for people to get their upgrades. I'm looking mainly for it looks like a router, so we will see. But you guys have a great rest of your evening or day. Have a great rest of your week and have a great weekend coming up. Take care, and I will see you all in the comment sections of whatever video you're watching from me or on the Discord server, which is linked down below. But take care, everyone. Bye-bye.